You know, it takes a big man to say when they're wrong. And I'm pretty big. I was wrong. What's going on, people? Alex Thorn here, and I'm a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And with that being said, we're talking about Scream 4. And let me take you back a little ways with my history with this movie. I tried to sit down and watch this movie twice prior to this viewing. Could not get past the 20-minute mark or so. It was, to me, just not engaging. It was very silly. And I was just like, God, this movie sucks. I don't like this movie. I don't care. But with my son, you know, that's before I found out that my son liked Scream. And I believe that was before he even, you know, started to even look at Ghostface and started asking for the collectible figures or anything like that. And, you know, now we're going on this Scream kick. We're on this channel. You can go ahead and check it out. There's a playlist down below that has all of my Scream movie reviews. And I watched them all with my son. So it was a great experience. I prejudged or judged Scream 4 too harshly without getting the full picture. So let's get into it. Scream 4 was made way after Scream 1, 2, and 3. Everybody was really surprised that they even came out with it and called it Scream 4, because usually when there's that amount of time between sequels, especially in Hollywood now, we're talking 15 years or so. If not, I think it was 17 years. But when there's that amount of time, they usually reboot the series. And that's what they try to do here. Let's not get it wrong. They are trying to reboot the series. But very cool that they called it Scream 4. And I think with Scream 5, with that one, they should have called it Scream 5. Because the new one, Scream 6, that's coming out, is called Scream 6. So, you know, people really do enjoy the continued storyline of this. And for me, this is one of those movies you have to stick with. There's a whole new cast of characters in this one. Of course, you still have Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette in here. The new characters that are introduced here, especially the blonde chick. I forget her name, but she was in Heroes. And she's just really good. Everything she does, she nails it. The main character in this is Sydney's niece. And Sydney is returning to Woodsboro because she's written a book. And as she should, right? Because she has a hell of history to talk about and she'll definitely make money off it. And she's been through so much, she deserves to tell her story. And Sydney is the one that's in the spotlight now, where Gail is not the book writer and all that shit anymore. Gail and Dewey are together now. They're married or whatever it is, or having something together. And Dewey is still the deputy. He's taking a little bit more charge. He's not as silly in this one. He's doing better. He's not making all those ridiculous faces, which I'm glad for. He's a little bit more tolerable. But, you know, the niece is really the person that is suffering because Sydney came back into town. So that tells you Sydney was away. Sydney was gone. But the moment she comes back to Woodsboro, somebody wants to be famous now. Somebody wants this stuff to start back up. The one thing that I will say, that even on this third viewing of this movie bothers me, is there's almost a corniness to it. And there's a lot of like weird, I don't know, music. The soundtrack behind some of the moments are almost B-C level movie like. I don't know, it's just weird. But being campy is not something I want from my Scream movies. And I feel like this is leaning heavily on camp without dedicating itself to it. So that's a problem. Some people might love this movie all the way through. But I didn't love it until the reveal happened. So when the reveal does happen in this movie, and again, I haven't spoiled any of them for 2, 3, 4, or 5 in this review series. But when the reveal does happen in this movie, I'm telling you right here, right now, it is my absolute favorite reveal of who's behind that Ghostface mask or masks throughout the entire series. When I say that this movie throws you for a curveball and makes you point the finger at all these other people, with good reason, right? On purpose, they build scenes and they build tension and they build scenarios where you're like, oh yeah, that's the killer. My son was calling out the killer. He was wrong, but he was calling out the killer within like 5 minutes of the movie starting. And 10, 15 minutes later, I was like, okay, that's killer number one, that's killer number two. And guess what? We were both wrong. And we've been watching all of the movies and we thought we had the formula down. We did not have the formula down. And that is what is great about this movie. And I think that is where the greatness of Scream 4 comes in, is in the final act. That final act is fucking solid. Probably one of my favorite final acts of the entire series. So you can hear it in my voice. With all that being said, because of the final act, I'm going to rank it 4 bandanas out of 5. I can't believe I'm saying that because I couldn't even make it through the movie at first. But once you make it through the movie, it is worth it. I love it. Let me know down below. What did you think of Scream 4? Did you go to the theaters to watch it? Did you watch it on streaming? Are you late to the game or what? But let's talk about it, because the next video that comes out, gotta rank the Screams, right? All right, join me on my ranking of the Scream videos, and have a happy new year. All right, 2023 is here. Let's make this our best year yet. I don't care what you do. Make it your best year. All right, let's rock out, watch some movies, and I'll get back to you soon with my Scream ranking.